Had to get an ATC, so went down to Fisher's and said, hey, I want a ATC 250R, and Bud tried to talk me into buying a Big Red, and I was like, no, dude, I want to go racing. So bought an ATC 250R, and of course that was a 1981. I couldn't afford to buy parts,
Right.
so I had the ability and to make a lot of my own stuff. Then in '95, when Tim won the Pro Class Championship, when he beat Gary, dethroned him from his ninth championship. He won 8 in a row. Wayne and Tom Wayne Meridian from PEP and Tom Burba from Pro Design had told me that I'd be crazy not to start a business. Yeah, as long as there's a machine being produced, it has to be a production-based class. We have to support the OEs because, in my opinion, people say it ought to be cheaper to run a hybrid. Not so much. We need to focus on, promoting the events a little better, maybe some live streaming, getting some new people involved a little bit.
Yeah.
And a little bit more positive attitude sometimes,
Yeah.
I think would help.
Yeah.
There's some folks out there that sometimes are a little negative. Board it's a little flat right now, just because we only have the one OE. And people think this is a expensive sport, but there are a lot of other forms of racing
We're a
that
gateway sport.
Yeah, there are a lot of other forms of racing that are a lot more expensive than this.
Yeah. Hey everybody, this is Leon with Four Wheel Frenzy, and we're back again with another episode. And this has been an episode, we're almost in a year of the making on getting this episode recorded, but I have with me Mark Baldwin today of Baldwin Motorsports. Mark, for anybody, if there's somebody out there that doesn't know who you are, real quick, what do you do in the ATV racing world?
Oh, man, Leon, thanks for having me on, and it has been a long time in the making, but it's just I'm super busy. And here at Baldwin Motorsports, I mean, we're in the engine modification business. We build some of the best engines in the world, build complete bikes for riders, manufacture our own line of products, do a lot of suspension work as well. Work really close with Wayne at PEP, but we service all brands and build a lot of the PEPs that we sell here at our location in Ohio.
Yeah. And you've been at this for quite a while, but bring us all the way back. What got you into ATV? Well, let me correct myself. Beginning with ATCs and then getting into ATVs. What got you into them to begin with?
Well, Leon, I mean, I grew up here in good old Ashtabula County here in northeastern Ohio, across the street from Pine Lake, and grew up on a big farm. And I always would hear the racetrack over at Pine Lake running on the weekends, and I wanted to be involved. And so the Fisher family that owns that, they of course owned the Honda dealership as well, and I finally convinced my dad to let me buy a motorcycle. And so I started riding dirt bikes first, and heck, that wasn't cool. I had to get an ATC, so went down to Fisher's and said, hey, I want a ATC 250R, and Bud tried to talk me into buying a Big Red, and I was like, no, dude, I want to go racing. So bought an ATC 250R, and of course that was a 1981, and big old balloon tires on the thing, and I go down there and ride, and there was a lot of people that would come to Pine Lake and ride on the weekends, and I was young, and then after I started riding, my cousin also got a three-wheeler, and so we'd ride together a lot, and the other guys come home from work, and there'd be just 5-6 guys down there riding any given evening, and on the weekends, maybe 20-30 of us down there playing around at the racetrack. And so I was pretty good friends with Old Man Fisher, which of course Wild Man, or Bill Fisher is his proper name.
Okay.
And I was sitting at the corner of Maple Road where it goes down the racetrack, helping my dad plant corn in the field, and old man Fisher came by about 4:30, quarter to 5, like he did every night after he got done at his business, and he stops, and I can't remember if he was chewing on a cigar or smoking the darn thing. That all told us what his mood was, but he yells at me and says, "Hey, Baldwin, get those tires out of the back of this truck and put them on that three-wheeler. You need to start racing." And that's about where it started, Leon. And, I basically started to ride quite a bit, and I'd go down to Fisher's in the evenings and try to learn some stuff there from those guys to modify bikes. And, biggest thing you do back then on your air-cooled ATC 250R was modify the head deck a little bit, get some more compression.
Okay.
Put some race gas to that baby,
Yeah.
so smelled good. You were cool then, so.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much where it started. And then I competed, in some of the amateur classes, and that was back when Honda had a factory race team, and they'd come to Pine Lake and compete at the events because Bruce Ogilvie was pretty good friends with Bud, and it was a national series at that point. So it was cool, and so I guess that's basically where I got started. And then I raced in '81 probably for 2 years, and I bought an '83 or '84. I can't remember what year it was, but then bought a water-cooled '85 when they first came out, and got a little more serious about that, and did a lot of racing at Deerfield over in Batavia, New York. There was a lot of flat. I was mainly a flat track guy.
Okay.
But that's where I pretty much cut my teeth. And then I decided after I graduated high school that I wanted to run some of the national events. And I think the first one I went to was in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And I got a rude awakening. I didn't realize it was going to be a motocross race. I showed up there a flat track guy, and I didn't do so hot. It was not good. But came home, did a little more practicing, and we went. I think the following year, went to Bakersfield, California, and raced an event out there. And I guess that's where then went to Boyd, Texas as well. And that's where I figured out that if you were going to be real serious about this, you couldn't be your own mechanic.
Yeah.
Couldn't be the rider, the mechanic, do all your own work.
Yeah.
So decided that I would continue to ride, but then there were my buddies there, Tim Farr and his brother Tommy. Tim was a little bit younger than Tom and I, so I started helping Tommy first, and that was 1986. He bought a TRX 250R, and I started helping him do some modifications on that, and that's pretty much where I got my start as far as being in a business. But
so it kind of started. So you started basically you racing the three-wheelers, which also between the air-cooled and the liquid-cooled 250R three-wheelers, was that a huge difference?
Oh yeah, Honda made huge improvements chassis-wise comparing the air-cooleds to the liquid-cooleds. I mean, the 85 and 86 ATC 250R was a wicked machine.
Yeah.
Those things, you had to respect them. They'd put you on your head. But like I said, we had a big group of people in this area, and Bud and Dave Fisher's cousin Dwayne, he was extremely fast, and there were some other guys that were probably 10 years older than I was at that point. And you learned a lot from those guys. They had a lot of experience. They rode motocross on two-wheelers first, so but it was good.
Yeah.
It was real good.
Yeah. And because the Farr brothers, they also were on three-wheelers for a while before.
Yeah, correct. They started, believe it or not, Tim and Tommy had a 185S, and that was, needless to say, all it had was front forks on it. But so Tommy bought a 86 TRX 250. I started helping him, and then, of course, Tim was riding a 200X at that point.
Okay.
And he wasn't old enough to race a 250 yet, but Tommy and I worked together for, I think it was 2 years, and then he got hurt real bad, messed his knees up. He was riding a darn CR250 and cased a double or something and messed his knees up, and so started helping Tim a little more. And that's when we pretty much got serious. Probably was 1987 or 88. And that's when I pretty much quit riding and started helping Tim. And I was working as a tool maker or becoming a tool maker, and he was going to school, and I was going to college also. And so it was busy times, but good, fun times. I missed some of it, you know.
So Baldwin Motorsports essentially started while you were still in school then?
Well, I was going in, so it didn't start till 1995.
Okay.
But,
officially,
it didn't start till 1995. But I knew when I was working at the machine shop where I was serving my apprenticeship that I was someday going to either be in the machining business or racing business.
Okay.
Which I'm kind of in both as we
technically
speak, you know.
Both, yeah.
So, but at any rate, that's. We got started there in the early 90s, and we had some other good help. Good friend of Tim and I, his name is Fred White, a very successful businessman. Him and his son did some racing at Deerfield, and I started building stuff for Justin, his son. And so he and Tim and I became real good friends, and of course with Justin and his wife Pat, and we ended up traveling around to a lot of races with them.
Yeah.
And Fred helped with Tim and I's racing efforts, as well as a lot of other people. My parents, Tim's parents, Wayne Meridian. And then that was in the early 90s. And then in 95, when Tim won the Pro Class Championship, when he beat Gary, he finally dethroned him from his ninth championship. He'd won 8 in a row. Wayne Meridian from PEP and Tom Burba from Pro Design had told me that I'd be crazy not to start a business. So I went to the first couple weeks of school at Akron. I was going into my senior year of engineering school, and one of the professors and I didn't quite see eye to eye, and I looked at one of my buddies and said, "You know what, Paul?" I said, I think I'm done. And I packed my bags and came home, and my dad and I built a addition on a building we had at my parents' house, and that's where Baldwin Motorsports started. So the fall of 95 is essentially when this all came to fruition.
So since 95, so this is crazy. This is 30 years of Baldwin Motorsports this year.
30 years. Seems like yesterday.
To you, maybe.
yeah, exactly. But
and I mean, you got to start somewhere. So essentially you started in, a small shop, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
At your parents' farm.
It was at my parents' house, just west of the farm.
Okay.
But I actually started in my parents' basement, just a little. You know, I had a lot of this equipment that's at this shop in my parents' basement. You know,
really?
And then we to start with, and then like I said, we built it was about a 1,100 square foot addition on a building, and got a phone line. Second thing I got was a fax machine. That was an important thing back then.
Back then.
You had to have that fax machine.
There was no emails. There was no text messages.
No emails, no text messages. It might have been a bag phone at that point, but there was no text messages or anything. But so off we went.
That's
crazy. No computers, no nothing, and it's been an amazing run.
Yeah. And then I guess essentially, so with the beginning of Baldwin Motorsports, you were working with Tim Farr, of course. But what were some of the big things? You know, obviously you had a relationship with Wayne, you know, who, if anyone doesn't know, is the owner of PEP. You know, so he's a big name when it comes to ATV racing. Even if you don't know who he is, you know who his brand, anyways.
Yep.
But what kind of put Baldwin Motorsports on the map in the ATV racing world?
Man, Leon, that's, I guess, just I built. People saw what I had done for Tim Farr, and you know, I just produced a good quality product, reliable stuff. You know, maybe it wasn't the absolute fastest, but it stayed together. And before you can win a race, you got to finish a race. You know, so I guess what wins on Saturday or Sunday sells on Monday.
Right.
And we were doing a lot of winning. You know, and not as time went on, I was helping more people as well. Like I said, I was working with Justin White, and he competed him and Harold Goodman were running together a lot. So I was working on a lot of 90 mods for him, so I was building those for other people and doing a lot of suspension work. So there was a lot going on.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So
it's essentially what you became known for back then is essentially what you're known for now, which is, having a fast product, but also a reliable product.
Oh yeah.
You're not building a rocket ship that needs rebuilt after a moto.
Correct.
Your stuff holds up.
Yep. Yeah, it's very, very reliable. Yeah.
So essentially, when it all comes down to it, your attention to detail is what really got you out there.
100%, Leon. And I am a fit and finish freak, and I understand that, it's expensive to do this. It was expensive to do it then.
Right.
It's all relative.
Right.
But yes, I hate failures. I try to prevent those as much as I can. And when we do have a failure, I want to analyze it and make a better product.
Right.
And that's what a lot of our products have been developed around. Bearing carriers, front wheel hubs, all that stuff is just because I saw something. We were I was the first guy to come out with a 250R gearboxes back in the day.
Okay.
But that I hate seeing failures because number one, safety. Number two, it's expensive.
Yeah.
So, but races are won and lost in the shop. Prior preparation prevents.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Right on. So you were making your own transmissions for the 250Rs?
Yes. Transmission gears and the 250Rs, as we built those things to get more horsepower out of them, the tranny gears were very weak.
Okay.
It would shatter. And, of course, at that point, Wayne Hinson was also making billet clutch baskets, or at least he had a steel one for Gary's. I know that, but and that's the other. I haven't mentioned that family. I mean, I'm great friends with the Hinsons as well, and knew them long before Hinson clutch components was ever dreamt of. But like I said, Wayne made the first Hinson clutch basket, and then we started having troubles with transmissions. And so as we built those 250Rs into 265s or larger, they would explode the trannies. And there was a big race over New York. It was at Frozen Ocean, and Tim was leading that thing, and I believe it paid $10,000 to win.
Oh wow!
And yeah, I mean, it was, I forget the guy his name, that was the announcer for the race, but he worked for ESPN.
Okay.
He was a heck of a good announcer, and if I wish I could remember the guy's name. But at any rate, we were leading that thing, and we blew the transmission out of it. And so on the way home, I was like, I am just done with this. I'm over it. And a good friend of mine owns a big machine shop here in town, and we got together the following week and got a hold of a couple other gentlemen that were in the gear business. And we spec'd out the material that we needed to make them out of, and we ended up getting them made. And those things, we sold a ton of those things.
Yeah. And was that a billet gearbox?
Yeah, it was all. Yeah, it was only billet. It was billet gears for the counter shaft only.
Okay.
The main shaft stuff worked pretty good.
Okay.
It was a five gear set. And I think back then they sold for $600. You probably couldn't make two of them now for $600. So, but
well, it'd be interesting what's $600 back then compared to now.
Yeah. So, but I just, same with bearing carriers. We just always were looking to make a better product, and it's worked out.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, it's definitely panned out for you.
Oh yeah, well, it's a lot of work though.
Oh yeah,
a lot of hours.
I bet. Well, that's why it's taken almost a year to make this.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
It's not like I see you almost every week or anything.
Exactly.
What's some of the notable obviously you mentioned Tim, you mentioned the White family.
Yeah.
What are some of the other, and obviously you can mention them again, but what are some of the notable like riders and builds that you have done over the years?
Oh my gosh, Leon, that's, of course I built all this stuff for Tim throughout his entire career.
Mm-hmm.
Are you wanting to know like cool bikes we built? Or
yeah, what's
like,
something that you are you're proud that your name got put on that?
Well, every
Or
one
that
of
you
them.
got- well, of
Every
course.
one of them.
But,
yeah, but
there's got to be. I'm sure
um,
there's like even just a handful of bikes like
yeah,
I made that.
probably one of the coolest bikes that we built was back when Tim was riding for Honda,
Mm-hmm.
and sitting here looking at the picture of it. Actually, it was a 2006 TRX 450, and we used it for TT. It was TT specific machine, but that thing, it was super light. There was not any. There was no steel There were no steel fasteners on it. Everything was either tire or aluminum.
Mm-hmm.
We had some crazy stuff that Jody and I built for the steering stem, so we could adjust the Ackerman and all kinds of stuff. So it was all things that Tim was very good at testing, still is to today. To the day, but he could. He always had ideas, and I'd build them. And I threw more shit away than most people ever dreamt of. But if it didn't work, we'd start it over.
Yeah.
And but that's how you win races. You got to try things. So,
Absolutely.
but as far as probably one of the coolest bikes, that was probably one of the coolest builds.
Okay.
Some of the other stuff, that we build today is really cool as well. The bikes I built for Bryce are super awesome because they're titanium bolts and all that. But
Right.
this is current stuff. The older stuff was,
It was a lot more raw.
yeah, exactly. A little more raw, a little more factory looking.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff we do now is
Yeah.
not quite as.
Obviously, what we're riding, even what we're building and riding today, is nothing like a race car by any means, but
No.
these are a lot more refined compared to an old 250R or even early model TRX.
Yeah. Yep. The other bikes, some of the stuff we rode over Pont-Aven in France. Shane and Tim and Harold did that event a couple times. And we kind of did that in conjunction with Curtis. Curtis and I were fierce competitors on the racetrack, but mutual friends and a lot of mutual respect from the two of us. Curtis is a very, very smart man, and definitely knew a lot of tricks, and definitely drove me to be a little better,
Right,
So,
right.
And Tom Carlson as well, but it was cool, and
Yeah.
I don't know what else you want, Leon.
Yeah,
I'm going too
No,
much
it's
on
all
that
good.
one.
It's all good. And actually, I do want to ask you real quick. You said that you and Jody made it so, and it was all on the stem where you could adjust the Ackerman on that TRX.
Yeah, I had slotted the steering stem and put grooves in it so that it wouldn't slip, and I made these other little titanium plates that had grooves in them so that meshed together like a Reese hitch adjustment.
Okay, yep.
How you adjust the pivot on a Reese hitch? Well, just imagine those little pieces all made out of tie, and just we could move it in like 16th inch increments. And, but he was like, when he wanted to try something, we did it because that's how things developed, and we were always striving to gain another couple tenths.
Yeah.
So, and he was, like I said, and still is very, very good at the testing side of things.
Yeah.
And so, saying he, referring to Tim,
Yeah.
But, so that's how we made it.
Right. Well, and obviously, that was 2006. That was after some of the development stuff that you did. But let's talk about your machine development a little bit. Because not only have you worked with OEMs on different things with machines, but you you've gone through essentially every era of ATV racing, whether it's as a racer or you as a machine builder slash. I mean, you fabricated a lot of stuff for them too.
Oh yeah.
Yep. You've come up with a lot of things for machines over the years, but you started out on the ATCs.
Yep.
You designed a lot of stuff for those too.
Yeah. I made, I couldn't afford to buy parts,
Right.
so I had the ability and to make a lot of my own stuff. So, it's funny, we're sitting at dinner tonight and in my Instagram, looking at the Instagram, and the missile kit popped up. And unless you're old like me, you don't know what a missile kit was, but I saw that ad come out in the magazine back when you read magazines, that you got in the mail every month if you were lucky. And I wanted one of these missile kits, and I couldn't afford it, so I went to it was American Power Sports. It was like a division or a spin-off of Wiseco, or the Wiseco people owned it. I forget what it was, but they had a go-kart side, and I went there and bought some go-kart wheels and brought them home and made my own spacers. And first time I took that thing to Deerfield, people looked at me like I had 3 heads. But when you sit at the start line, you click the thing up to 3rd gear, and when the flag flew, it launched out of there like crazy, and you can run around an oval as fast as that 3-wheeler would go, So, but I built a lot of things. Like I said earlier, when I started helping Tim, we tried things all the time and built a lot of different things, and been just always looking for the next thing to make things better.
Kind of finding that weak link that you could do without.
Yeah, exactly.
Things like that.
Rider comfort, just making sure that the levers are right. Or I made custom brake levers for Tim because, hey, I don't like the way this thing feels. Or we'd grind something or sand something. Just, we're just looking for another 10th or 100th of a second, And so, I mean, that's just the little things that I'm never afraid to try, because you never know. It might be the next best thing, So
Exactly. And then obviously with all that, I mean, if anyone doesn't know, you worked, you and Tim Farr both worked with Honda.
He worked directly with Honda.
Okay.
But I was never involved with like the testing side of it.
Okay.
Per se, like he was, but the engineers from Honda that were heavily involved, they would come to some events, and then they came here to my shop as well. And we did some testing and some frame swaps and whatever they would bring. We would definitely change it and do whatever they wanted to do. So, but yeah, back 2004, they'd be nothing to come home from an event, and Monday or Tuesday, be at the test track somewhere, trying a different chassis or different whatever. I mean, there was a lot of involvement from them. So those were good times. So.
But you really didn't get involved until after the machine was released.
Correct. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Correct. Tim was involved with the development of the TRX 450.
Yep.
Man, it was a couple years ahead of time, but he was sworn to secrecy. So
there's
so was
a
I.
lot of crazy stories.
There's a lot of crazy stories there for sure. But it was good times.
Yeah, but it was kind of, especially in like 2004. It was a lot of that though, kind of trying different things. Now, did that same thing happen in 2006 when the machine was revised?
No, most of that development was done in probably 2004.
Okay.
They were working a couple years ahead of time just to get everything done, So, but there was, Tim had given him his input after we had raced the 04 model. He had some meetings and stuff, and they made some changes, and of course he had tested it as well.
Yeah.
And then, the 06s came out. So,
Okay.
but yeah, even back prior to that, Leon, there was back when we were running Mark Legger's chassis and stuff. We had YZ 426s.
Yep.
And we had some meetings with Yamaha.
Yeah.
And the position of the rear shock with the linkage we were running and everything, it was that one that didn't run a CR500 link on that. That ran a 426 linkage.
Okay.
Yamaha took notice of that. The width of the foot pegs, a lot of those kinds of things. Even that, went into the development of the 04 YFZ.
Yep.
And some of those things you even see on the current model YFZR.
Yeah, especially on the current model. I would say.
The wide foot pegs and
the
all
more
that.
of a dirt bike setup on the rear end for the shock and linkage.
Correct. And so yeah, they came and met with us. I guess it was just one time, and looked at some of that. So, so to this day, still things that we were working on back in basically the late '90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Are being produced today.
Right.
So
right.
25 years later,
Exactly.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, and I mean, then also, were you involved a little bit when Tim was working on the KTM's?
So I was as well. After that machine came out, I was building all of the factory race engines for KTM.
Yep.
For their cross-country efforts and all his personal racing efforts, as well as doing cylinder heads for a couple of the riders over in Europe. So, I wasn't really in the development stages of it like he was in Austria and where they were doing testing here in the U.S.
The go-fast bits.
Yeah, I was building the go-fast bits.
Yeah.
And, we did the oil coolers for those and head modifications and all that. And then... that was about the time when your computer, I think, just dumped here, Leon. Sorry about that.
All good.
So I'll start back over here.
Yeah.
So basically with KTM, I was working on doing all the cylinder heads, and then that's when the economy kind of took a little bit of a turn for the worse, which slowed their sales a little bit. So they did a promotions deal to get their machines to move.
Yeah.
And if you would go to the dealership and buy a new 525 or 450 XC model, along with that came a gift certificate. And the purchaser could send the cylinder head to us here at Baldwin Motorsports, and I would port and polish it, do a valve job, put titanium valves in it because it came stock with steel valves, put some better valve springs in it, and change a cam. And it was free. So KTM, of course, paid me to do all that work,
right?
And I did hundreds of those things.
Yeah.
But it made the machine sell,
right.
And it was a heck of a good deal for the customer,
right?
And
that was a lot of time for you.
Oh man, I ground more of those darn heads, and I still have nightmares about doing that.
Yeah, because I mean that's back before you were CNC porting heads.
Yeah.
You're hand grinding all
I
those.
was hand grinding those. Yeah, the CNC porting was just in its infancy, and
yeah.
I think at that point. Maybe Dan Lamy had a Centroid that he was starting to CNC port heads, but it wasn't like it is today.
Yeah.
That's for sure. That technology's comes a long ways.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, I bet your hands are still sore from that.
They're not quite as strong as they used to be because I was doing so many of those back in the day. But anyhow,
that's crazy. But and I mean and we'll talk about this a little bit more, but. I'm sure another thing that a lot of people don't know is that you have done, a little bit of work for race teams that are not even necessarily in our industry.
Oh yeah, yes,
on the two-wheeled side and stuff like that.
Yes, I've done some work for some Supercross and motocross riders as well, so it's not all ATV stuff.
Right.
I'd say 90% of it is, but. I also do some machining work as well for some customers, make some parts for a couple of different industries. So all our eggs aren't in one basket.
Right. You got to do a little bit more than just build ATV motors.
Exactly.
Yeah. But then, I mean, obviously, we kind of talked a little bit about some of the development on stuff for not only the machines, but then your own product with Tim.
Yep.
And then you continued that on with your next rider,
Yeah.
which was Josh Upperman.
Right. Josh was the second guy that rode for me under the tent. And he and I worked together for, several years.
Yeah.
Until he went to work for the team you work for there at Root River.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I guess basically Josh would have went to ride for me 2007. It would have been.
Now, was he kind of riding under you a little bit before he went pro as well? Like his Pro-Am days and
So
stuff?
basically in 2006, we had a deal with Motorsport as well, and it was Tim and Mark Kendall and Josh Upperman. And Tim was, of course, riding pro class. That's the year he messed his back up pretty good. So Josh and Mark Kendall were running Pro-Am. I think Josh pulled about every hole shot he could get that year. And him and, believe it or not, Mike Walsh had a heck of a battle, and I'll never forget this one over at Budds Creek.
Okay.
And that was a hell of a good race. But at any rate, Mark and Josh rode 2006 out of my truck with a Motorsport program as well, and some support from Honda as well there. And then when Tim got hurt, his deal pretty much ended there. It's at the end of 2006. So in 2007 is when the Kawasaki's were coming out, and we had a deal with them for Upperman and and Mark Kendall, to do the WPSA series.
Yep.
So that was my introduction to fuel injection, and that was very challenging.
Well, it's not like it was a very good fuel injection system to begin
It was
with.
very, very complicated,
Yeah.
and the wiring harness on that thing looked like it came out of a F1 car.
Not as bad as a Cannondale, though.
I never worked on those, so I'm
They're-
not sure.
That's like taking the whole electrical out of a Civic and just throwing it in a quad chassis.
Okay, well,
They're bad.
you would know better than I on that. But at any rate, the Kawasaki program was a little challenging. We did okay. Josh won a few races. Mark won a few races. And then that was a one-year stint there. And that was, like I said, for WPSA. I can't remember where we ended up that year.
Yeah.
But then in 2008, got Josh back on a Honda program. And I think that lasted from 2008 to 2009. And that was pretty good.
That's when Honda kind of pulled out then.
Yeah, that's when Honda pretty well pulled out. But we had some good sponsorship from Dunlop. They were developing tires because they were.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. It was cool, and so.
And they weren't a terrible tire, I don't think.
No, Dunlop tires were pretty good,
Yeah.
and I wish they could have stuck around because it was a pretty good product. But it was, I would say, another year if we could have kept going, they would have come to production with that, and it would have been into full production. They were producing them, but some of the hand cut stuff we had and all that was pretty trick, and it was going to be good. So, but that again kind of slowed down when the economy slowed down. Darn it all. But it all came back.
Yeah. No, for sure it did. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
So then after Josh, I think rode for me for 3 or 4 more years.
Up to 14.
Up to 2014.
15 is when we stole him.
Yeah, old Rich there from Root River stole him from me. So, and I think I helped John. After that, I think there was 1 year that I didn't really have a rider out of my truck, but I still, of course, went to all the races. I was at that point I'd met Cody and Bryce Ford, and of course their mom and dad John and Robin, and started building some stuff for Cody first, and then started helping with Bryce's program as well, and I think whatever year, I think it was 2015. I think it was 2016. I think John went to ride for me, and he won the opening round at Daytona.
Yeah.
And I think it was 2016. I think it was an inaugural race there.
15 was our first year at Daytona.
Okay, well then that would have been 2015. He went to ride for me.
That sounds correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So he rode for me for 15, and in 15, then 2016 is when he was going to ride for me, and he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And then pretty much just been helping Bryce and Cody since,
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the list of riders that I've had.
Yeah, because, obviously you have a lot of riders running your product.
Oh, yes, yeah.
But those are the two current riders that you're doing everything for.
Correct, yep.
And they're kind of getting more of the rider support from you at the track.
Correct,
You know, being under your tent and everything.
Yes,
well,
correct.
Bryce is under your tent.
Yeah.
Cody's under the JB tent.
Correct, yep.
It's kind of goes on to what does it take to make a machine Baldwin approved for racing?
Wow. Leon, like I said earlier, I'm a fit and finish freak, and
I've seen you look at shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty observant, and I like to have the best products out there on the machines that we're racing, and of course I build a portion of them and have worked with a lot of very reputable companies
Right.
my entire career, and I basically sell what I approve to put on race bikes,
Right.
So, and it's not, I sell high quality parts,
Right.
and
Right.
I don't shortchange anything. So, that's what I've put my stamp on. I'll race it on Sunday or Saturday, and we sell it on Monday.
Right.
So,
Right. Yeah, and that's something that we kind of talked about, and I know Brian and I were talking about it earlier before we went to dinner, but it's, you don't necessarily work for one rider.
no, definitely not.
You're here for the good of the sport at this point.
Oh yeah.
And, like you said, you're producing these parts because you see a need for them.
Correct.
And you find a weakness in something and you try to make it better. So, like I said, it's not like you're just here because this one rider is paying you to be there. You keep coming back every year after year. Sometimes I'm sure you question why.
Yeah,
but
for sure. Yep.
you keep coming back, and it's just because you've been involved with this for so long.
Yeah.
You're passionate about the sport.
Very passionate, yeah.
And it's just who you are.
Yeah, I totally love what I do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an awesome sport to be involved with. And yes, Leon, I don't build stuff just for pro riders.
Right.
I mean, I have
a lot of
I have a
engines
lot.
out there.
I have a lot of engines out
And
here.
it's not just you're not just building, we'll just say what people are calling, you're not just building cookie cutter YFZs either.
No.
I come here, I see CRF engines, I see KTM engines, I see YZ engines, I see actual dirt bikes rolling in and out for supercross riders. You are building all sorts of stuff. So it's not like, like the big thing is, I shouldn't say the big thing. Something that I have heard is, they're just keeping the pro class production because all these guys just want to keep building the same thing over and over again.
No.
You're building everything.
I'm building. Doesn't matter what it is. I'll build it.
I'm not seeing very many small bore two-stroke motors around here anymore, but
no, it's funny you say that because I had 2 phone calls today to port 250R cylinders.
Yeah.
And, I don't want to breathe all that cast iron dust anymore. But I build. It doesn't matter what it is. It's not just Yamahas.
Yeah.
I mean, we're CRF 150s, 250s, 450s. It's all of it. It's unreal, And I have. I'm very, very fortunate. I have a lot of cylinder heads to work on, and that's what we specialize in.
Right.
So
exactly.
That's what we do,
Exactly.
So, and it doesn't matter whether it's an amateur competitor or the top pros or the fastest guys in the world. I mean, we'll build it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can talk about this real quick. You know, we are at this weird little stage in the sport where you've got a handful of people that are begging to let hybrids in the pro class like it used to be, and you got a handful of people that are saying keep the production. You know, what are your thoughts on that as of right now? You know, we do still have a machine being produced.
Yeah, as long as there's a machine being produced, it has to be a production-based class. We have to support the OEs because, in my opinion, people say it ought to be cheaper to run a hybrid. Not so much. I mean,
we're not going to make it cheap.
Yeah,
we're not going. What's going to happen?
You're not going to make it cheap because if you open that book of rules up, sky's the limit.
Right.
And it just becomes F1 racing.
Right.
And we'll don't tease me, you know, because we'll figure out something better, you know. And
right.
It's not going to make it any cheaper at all, Leon.
Right.
We've been there. We've beat that horse. And as long as you have an OE, we definitely need more OEs in the sport.
Right.
There's a need for it. Their market research apparently says that there's not, but I think that if there were other options out there, I think the manufacturers would be pleasantly surprised.
Right. Well, I think we're at this weird stage, too, where it seems like all the manufacturers put all their eggs in the side-by-side basket.
Yes.
And now we're at the point where you got to make the decision on if you want to buy a truck or if you want to buy a side-by-side because they're the same price.
Yeah, they've become very expensive.
And seems like the sales are not, they're kind of dropping a bit.
Yeah.
So what point are we going to see possibly brands? Well, I mean, I've heard of brands already looking back into quads.
Yeah, and I hope that there are brands looking back into it. Like I said, I feel that there's a need. I, of course, get calls all the time asking me when more OEs will be back. I can't answer that.
Right.
I'm a performance shop, you know, and
you're not the tech line for all these OEMs.
No, I'm not the tech line for all these OEMs, correct. And there's a lot more that goes into building a new unit than selling 400 or 500 of them. They need to sell thousands of them to recoup their investment. So
yeah, because I mean that's the other thing too is as much as we like to think that we are the reason why the YFZ is still produced. I mean, ATVs are a small section of the power sports industry. ATV racing is even we're a crumb of that piece.
Is a smaller percentage of it. Yes, that is correct.
So it's not us that's keeping them going.
Right. We like to think that way, but it's probably not so much, you know?
No, definitely not.
No, yeah, exactly.
But you also mentioned before, you know, like on the 06 bike, TT bike, you and Jody kind of working on some stuff.
Yep.
You and Jody seem to do quite a bit together.
Yeah, we do.
Kind of have a bit of a not really a partnership, but seems like you guys do work together on a lot of different things.
We do, Leon, and it's convenient. I mean, we're 20 minutes apart, you know, and he's in the fabrication business. I'm in the engine building, machining business. So it's just one hand complements the other, you know, and it works good. And I mean, you know, we're good friends, you know, and I help him, he helps me, vice versa, you know, and and not only with the racing stuff, but we do some other things too, you know. So and then I use other use some of Mike's stuff too, and on builds, just whatever the customers want, you know. So it's just on my side of things. Like I said, I'm not in the fabrication business. I can do it or could do it, but I don't want to. I got enough other stuff to do.
Yeah.
So let him do that. That's his expertise, you know. So we've been friends for a long time, and
So that was going to be my next kind of question: is when did that kind of start? When did you two start working together on certain things? Was that towards the beginning? Because I know he's been doing his stuff for quite a while too.
You know, I can't remember exactly what year Jody started JB Racing, but I guess one of the first projects he helped me with was a bike that it was a Lone Star chassis that we put an XR650 engine in.
Okay.
For the Baja.
Yeah.
And Tim and Shane and Wes Miller were going to ride that unit, or did ride that unit. And I think that was probably about 2001 or 2002 is when I really started working real close with Jody. Went over to his shop many evenings, getting that project done. And I guess that's when that all came to
fruition.
To fruition, yes. So it's been 20-some years there too, you know.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Hard to believe.
Right.
Seems like yesterday.
Right. And it, like you said, I mean, it makes sense because he's right down the road.
Exactly.
You know, it's nothing to call over there. And
Yeah.
sometimes you have people coming here that are going there, and you can just send the parts with that person.
Or vice versa.
You know,
You've been
whatever.
there. You've been the Uber
I've been
service.
both sides, yeah.
You've been the UPS guy or the Uber service or whatever you want to call it, you know.
Courier.
Courier, there you go. Yeah.
But, and, you know, before we kind of change the topic here, there's one other rider that I kind of forgot to bring up that you have done a lot with over the years, and that'd be Shane Hitt.
Yeah. Shane and Timmy are good friends, and I'm good friends with Shane as well. And I never, like I said, Curtis did all his engine work. He ran PEP suspension, so there was occasions that I would service his stuff or help him on the suspension side of things. But his mom and dad were also very helpful back in the beginning when we did Pontyvoo and stuff. I mean, we decided to go to Pontyvoo, and Bonnie made it happen. So it was, again, we were very fortunate. Shane invited us, and like I said, Bonnie and Brad made it happen, you know, and kids had a dream, and they made it work, you know. So
Right.
And Shane will brag about me being down there and calling the University of Akron and telling them to send my money back because that's where I quit school, in his mom's front or in her living room.
Okay.
When he convinced me that I didn't need to go back to college. So, yeah, he tells that story a lot, but it's true. And we were down there running his race car, and that's where I decided to heck with it. So
hey, there you go.
There you go.
And I mean, like we talked before, it obviously panned out for you. It worked.
Yeah.
And I mean, also you're not the only one that does this either, but you know, I have heard stories, and we've talked about it before about, you know, sometimes it's not all about what I can sell you and stuff like that, but you know, you got some engine work that needs done. I got something that needs done on my shop. You know, say I need a new roof on my shop or something like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta make things happen.
Yeah,
sometimes. And that's, you know, especially in the early days.
Oh yeah. And
you know, I've heard stories of
I'm sure
trading roofing jobs for some engine work in the past. Maybe some Banshee porting or whatever.
Your father-in-law is definitely one of those guys. Yes, occasionally you got to do some of those kinds of things, you know. So,
well, I mean,
it works out.
Cat engines don't produce themselves either. So.
Nope, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So,
but let's talk about Team USA real quick.
Yeah.
You know, you've obviously Team USA, Quad Cross of Nations. Quad Cross of Nations has been around for a long time.
Correct. Yes.
But we started going in, was 17 our first year?
Yeah, 2017.
2017.
Yep.
And there was 1 or 2 years that we missed.
Yeah, 2 years because of COVID. Yep.
Otherwise, you've been part of that since 2017.
Yep. Sure
and you're not just going as a mechanic or anything like that. You are going as team manager, right?
Correct. Yes. Yep.
You know, so that's a big deal, especially, you know, this year didn't go in our favor.
Yeah, correct.
But, you know, shit does happen.
Shit does happen.
How was it, how did you become the team manager for Team USA?
So, basically, we were at Walnut, Illinois, and Harv Whipple and Chad Weenan came over to me and said, "Hey, Mark, we got this idea." And I said, "Well, this is dangerous with you two guys having an idea." So they said, "Hey, what's it take to go to race in Europe?" I said, "What are you talking about?" They said, "Well, we want to do this thing called the Quad Cross of Nations. It's in Italy. And it's in, like, the end of September." And I said, "Guys, you realize it's, like, almost the end of May?
Right.
We got nothing?"
Yeah.
I said, "If you're going to go to Europe," because I'd been over there several times to do Pontyvoo with the riders, and I said, basically, you got to go there with everything you need.
Mm-hmm.
You can't rely on being able to get anything when you're in Europe.
Right.
So basically, I said, guys, the only way to do it is you got to get a container, and you got to make it a complete mobile workshop on essentially wheels, minus the wheels.
That can travel the world.
That can travel around the world. And if you think you're going to do this for this year, we got to go like now.
Mm-hmm.
And so it didn't take us very long, and there were a lot of people involved and a lot of people that are still involved that were very generous donors of that program.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a container bought in a matter of, I think, maybe 2 weeks from them asking me what we needed to do.
Yeah.
And Thomas Brown's dad made a bunch of parts or a bunch of frameworks for some workbenches, and Jody came over here from his place, and myself and Kent installed all that stuff, and it was a big effort. Mm-hmm. And we made it come together, Leon, and been rolling ever since on that project. But every year we try to make improvements. This year, of course, we fell a little short finishing, but just it was rough.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But it's a great experience. Been very fortunate again to do that deal. I highly advise to everybody listening that if you haven't been to Europe, you need to go travel the world, because
It's very cool.
It's very cool. You've been there, Leon.
Yep.
You've been to Italy.
Yep. It was awesome.
It's cool.
Yeah.
And
it makes you want to keep going. That's for sure.
It definitely makes you want to. Somebody asked me if I wanted to go to Rome tomorrow, I'd be on a plane.
Yeah,
I mean, it's cool, and
right.
the food's good,
Mm-hmm.
contrary to what some people tell you, but
It's amazing.
it's amazing, and the people are very welcoming over there.
Mm-hmm.
I've never felt unsafe other than maybe once, but that was some of our own doings. It's something that you need to do.
Yeah.
It's fun, as you well know, Leon.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's cool.
And you've gone to, Italy you've gone to twice now.
Correct. Yep.
Just got back from the Netherlands not too long
Correct.
ago.
Yep.
Germany.
Correct.
Just once in Germany, right?
Once to Germany.
And
yep.
then Czech.
Czech Republic twice.
Yep. Czech. Oh yeah, it was twice.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So that,
and then Denmark 1 year too, as well.
Right. Okay.
Denmark,
okay. Yep. So yeah, I mean, if you go to them, it's just like us going to. Well, I guess the Quad Cross Nation's a little bit different, because as long as you allow yourself to do it, you can take some time and actually explore the areas.
Oh yeah.
So it's almost better than when you're traveling around going to the ATV MX Nationals, because I'm sure you've been asked this too, like, oh, what's it like in this area? I don't know. I see the racetrack.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you see these dirt roads or these shitty roads that we get to drive on to get to the track, and I see the racetrack.
Yep.
I don't see the area.
Yeah, you don't. You never get to take a vacation, and
Right.
Over there, I've always tried to stay an extra week or 10 days.
Yeah.
You're there. You might as well go enjoy
Exactly.
it and see the world. And I've done that.
Yeah.
Sherry and I have gone multiple places. And lots of places we're going to go back to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
do you think if it wasn't for ATV racing that you would even done any of it to begin with?
Leon, that's a hard question.
Makes you really think, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, probably. No, probably wouldn't have been as many places I've been.
Yeah.
I probably would have gone to maybe
Pick a couple or something.
a couple, but would I be able to say that I've been to probably 10 different countries? No,
Right.
I wouldn't.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's I guess that's just one of the bonuses of doing it.
Right.
And we've got friends all over the world that are just like the people here.
Right.
And they're race people.
Yeah.
So and they're great friends, and you call them up and say, hey, I'm going to be in Belfast this afternoon. You want to go to dinner tonight? Yeah. Where are you at now? So I mean, it's just, and then you learn a lot about those people as well, and it's pretty amazing the people that are in the ATV racing community, the things that they've done. in the world that you would never realize, you know.
Yeah,
and I mean, speaking of Belfast, I mean, that's a buddy of mine, Justin Reed. Him and his dad did all the exterior 3D panels on the Titanic Museum in Belfast, Ireland. You know, so it's pretty cool to be able to say, hey, my buddy did that.
Right.
You know? And,
exactly.
That's just one example, you know. Right. So, but
it's crazy too. In Italy, you know, there's all these people that came over and talked to you, and it wasn't just like somebody that knew who you were and came over to, like, they actually knew you. And then you got Sherry, like, oh, they're customers. They're from here. They're from there. Yeah. Like you are selling parts all over the world.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we sell parts and ship parts all over the world every week.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, you don't really think about that very much.
No, you don't. And you kind of get. I sometimes. Probably the reason it took a year to get me to do this, but I get so involved in my work, I kind of forget about the other side of things that people see, you know, and I'm just, you know, people think Chad Ween is a superstar. Well, he's just my buddy, you know, or same with Tim Farr or Shane Hitt or hell, you too, Leon. You know, you're just my buddy.
I'm a nobody.
But it's just when you're involved and they're your friends, you don't look at them as like a superstar or something, you know. Yeah,
right. Yeah, I mean,
buddies, you know,
exactly like Chad and Joel and all these guys that hate to be, but you see all these kids that are like, ooh, and just fanning over them. Yeah. And it's like, I need to talk to you. Can you hurry the fuck up? Like,
exactly. But I mean, it's, but I guess, you know, we're all just normal people and whatever we're good at doing.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. We're all just normal people, you know.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, and I mean, with the Quad Cross of Nations too, like, we'll go to different track conditions here in the U.S., but it seems like when you go to Europe and you go to a different country, it's not like you're racing from, you know, we'll say Muddy Creek, where you usually gets pretty blue groove, and then next weekend you're going to Redbud. Like, that's a big difference. You go over there, and from one country to another, it's almost like you're on a different world.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of amazing, you know, and depends on how they're. A lot of those tracks are owned by clubs, and depends on how the clubs prep the track and the terrain they're on. And I mean, there's some of them that have a lot of elevation change to them, and those tracks are old. They're old over there, because that's where motocross originally started, basically. You know, and so.
Well, it's like Chingoli. I was kind of researching that a little bit, and like that's a very old track, and that is just a gravel road.
Yeah, like, exactly.
That goes up and down the hills. That has some jumps, but I mean that wasn't dirt.
Yeah, it
was rocks.
Yeah, it was pretty pea gravelly, I guess we could call it there, and hard pack. But and I think it was I guess the first track we were at there in the Czech Republic.
Okay.
That place was like built back in, I believe, in the 40s.
Yeah.
You know, and so heck, Roger DeCosta probably rode there. I don't know for sure.
Probably.
You know? But the track that we raced in Germany, the guy that owned that, he said Kenny rode there a lot. You know, so But it's interesting. You know how much history there is over there, and. How the tracks are all owned generally by the villages, or they're run by clubs, you know. It's just how it all works over there, you know. So.
Well, I guess you don't have to worry about them getting shut down, right?
Exactly. Well, let's hope not. But you know, they're definitely worried about the noise control over there, or noise pollution as they call it.
Right.
So that's where all this lower dB limits are driven from.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah. And I guess
and challenging.
Right.
Yep.
And that's something else to talk about too, is, you know, you have to prepare a machine differently before it goes in that container people think that the pro class here is pretty strict on sound. Over there it's even worse.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they've definitely got some crazier sound rules than what we got here. You know, and it's done at rev cut rather than at lower RPM. So it's very challenging.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Very challenging, and going to get more challenging in the near future.
If only you knew a pipe guy.
Yeah, I know a pipe guy. A couple of them, but.
Do you have like a favorite or most memorable memory from Quad Cross the Nation so far? I mean, obviously you're not done yet, but
Yeah, we're not done. Favorite or most memorable this year or
any of the years.
Any of the years. Oh my goodness, it's hard to beat the first one, but probably most memorable time probably is when I believe this was in Denmark. We rented a castle. We stayed because the team usually stays in a common place.
Yep.
You know, keep it a team, family atmosphere. So Sherry had found this castle we rented, and it was pretty cool. It was a big old place. And after the race was over on Sunday, we invited a lot of the other teams to come to the castle, and it was. We had a pretty good party.
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun, and there was a little bit of beer pong going on, and it was quite interesting.
Yeah.
So
so is that did that start like the Team USA parties over there?
No, we started that right off the rip.
Okay,
right the first year. We had some parties after winning the first one, but after COVID we started to stay more in hotel type settings, where each person had their own, maybe a little more of their own space, and so when you get to those kind of accommodations, you can't host those little Sunday night private parties, you know.
Right,
so, but no, it was just good fun, and you know, you meet a lot of great people over there, and again, they're just ATV racing people, you know, and so it just a lot of memories, you know. So it was fun,
and it's really cool when some of them come over here, whether it's one or two for a season, or you know, this year we had I think 4 that came over for just Briarcliff, and it's cool when we can go over there and we have friends that welcome us in, then they can come over here and kind of get the same treatment from us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And obviously it's cool to meet new people that are all over the world.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Leon. Yep. So, but as far as my most memorable moment, probably was either just winning the first or probably the first one.
Okay.
That was pretty cool to stand up there and hear the national anthem played.
Yeah.
It was cool.
I suppose, too, coming into that, you didn't even know what to expect at that point.
We were clueless, you know, going over there.
And we're used to watching on the dirt bike side of things where they usually don't win.
Yeah.
So you don't know.
Yeah, we were going into that baby pretty blind.
Yeah.
But there was we've always had good teams. But yeah, we had a lot of learning to do that first year.
Yeah.
But Thomas and Chad and Joel got it done, and it continued with multiple riders, you know. And it's like I said, we've had a lot of great support with that program, and it's been fun.
Yeah. And I mean, it's going to be interesting now to see, you know, obviously Chad is retired.
Yep.
And hopefully he comes back and plays some role with the team.
I certainly hope he will.
I don't see why he wouldn't. This is kind of his baby in a way. You know,
it's like I said,
Harv's baby.
Yeah, he was the one that kind of approached Harv, and then Harv and he approached me about starting a thing. So last year when Chad was injured, of course, in 24, he went over there as like a rider coach kind of guy, and it was great help. And I hope he will.
Yeah, it'd be really cool.
Continue, you know.
Right.
So let's hope so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But Mark, we kind of talked about the beginnings. We talked about what you're up to now. What's next for you and for Baldwin Motorsports?
I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow, Leon, let alone what I'm doing next.
I know we're kind of running out of space here in this shop.
Yeah,
and you've come a long ways since the addition at your parents' house.
Yeah, there's...
How long have you been in this building now?
I moved here in 2003.
2003.
2003, and
Okay.
thought this place was huge, and we have it full now.
And now you could use another one.
I could use another building, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It just depends
Yeah.
on what the next couple years brings.
Yeah.
If you come here next week and you see that there's some stakes out there in the field or whatever, and we're building another building, that means there must be another unit coming, or Baldwin's got some
Something's
kind of
going on.
idea.
Well,
you know?
I mean, I know a couple years ago, the conversation was going to be, all right, at what point do we get into side-by-sides, and how the hell do we do that?
Yeah, well, that's a problem now. Is
Yeah.
just manpower in general,
Right.
You know, and
right.
but my heart is in the smaller ATV stuff, you know, and single-cylinder engines.
And
but
I understand that completely.
yeah, and that's what we're set up for here. I'm not really set up to do chassis work on ATVs or
Right.
pulling the
You're
engines.
not
and all
building
that.
cars.
I'm not really interested in building cars
Yeah.
now. I have done some engine work on the side-by-sides for Tim. And
Yeah.
done some heads and stuff for Honda as well, and there's an interest there, but just have to have the right manpower to do
Every
it.
once in a while, I'm sure it's kind of nice to do something different. But
Yeah, you get outside the box a little
Yeah,
bit, you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and see something a little different. and-
Exactly.
yeah,
I know that feeling.
Yeah, for sure. But you always got to be looking.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah. Exactly.
that's how you learn. And the day I quit learning is the day I'm going in the ground.
Right. Right.
So,
Yeah. And then Sherry's gonna have a fire sale.
yeah, somebody's gonna have a fire sale. All my junk I've collected over the
Yeah,
years.
there's a
but-
couple things here.
yeah, a couple items. A lot of history here.
Yeah, but there's nothing right now that you're kind of you're wanting to go towards next.
I have no desire really to make a huge career change, but
I mean, essentially, I guess that's the other thing too is to end of 2025 here. It's full time. It's you.
yeah.
You know, you've got your nephew that comes.
Yep, I've got
you know,
a couple part-time guys come in, and but during the day I'm here. I'm flying solo at this point in time, and man, there's just not a lot of people in the trades anymore, as you well know, Leon. And
right.
I mean,
Well,
mechanics in general are very, very scarce.
Right.
And I mean, when Ford Motor Company says they have 5,000
Exactly.
5,000
I was
open
just gonna
bays
bring that
a
up.
day at their Ford dealerships, that
Right.
tells you something, you
Right.
know. And young people need to really look at that, because the trades, there's a lot of opportunity in the
There
trades.
is, and it's not just in this either. I mean, you look at HVAC, plumbing, all that. It's
Yep.
You're necessary.
Oh,
I
you're
mean,
necessary
what we
for
do isn't very.
100.
We're
Yeah.
necessary for hobbyists, I guess.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's not like you have 1,000 customers walking in here every day. You've probably got 1,000 boxes coming in every day.
Well,
But-
I wish it was 1,000 boxes, but no, there's not that many coming in. But yeah, most of our work comes in on the UPS truck and leaves the same way. I mean, yeah, we have a little showroom here at the business, but
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff doesn't come in the front door.
Yeah,
You know, so
yeah.
a lot of
I
it
know
comes
I'm
from-
not the only pop-in person, though.
Yeah, you're not the only-
I've been here before when
Yeah.
there's people coming in and out.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
there's some, but I
Yeah.
mean, they're not. Some show up here, but anybody's welcome. You can come
Yeah,
anytime you
yeah,
want. But
yeah.
it's a lot of our stuff comes in on UPS truck or FedEx truck and leaves the same way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So not like you're looking at getting another CNC machine or anything like that.
I'm
Making
always,
more chips.
I'm always making. I'm always looking, Leon. I just haven't
Need
pulled
to
the.
find that deal.
I just need to find a deal, or I
Yeah.
haven't pulled the trigger to do it. You know, but no, I'm going to PRI this year and going to look at.
That's a
some
cool.
Yeah,
very
going
cool
to look
show.
at some stuff, and
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so
You'll be a kid in a candy store there.
I'm always a
the
kid.
whole machining, tooling
Oh.
corner they got going on.
yeah.
It's-
It's pretty cool to
Yeah,
see, but
it's really cool.
you can go out there, spend a lot of money in a hurry, and
Oh yeah, and they'll take it.
they'll take
Gladly
it.
they'll take
They'll
it.
take it. Those finance guys got the pins already,
Oh, yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But
Exactly.
got those sheets of paper. You just got to sign a dotted line. But
You don't know what you sold, but they got something. to
Yeah,
go.
exactly. So we'll see. But I'm always looking, and
Yeah.
you just never know, you know. So
Exactly.
We'll see what happens.
Exactly. Well, you plan on doing this for a good while yet?
Yeah, I have no intentions of retiring for quite some time.
Yeah.
I'd be bored. I'm not the guy that's going to sit at my house and watch.
You're here all day and all night.
Yeah,
Just about every day. So.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not a guy that sits at the house, and
Yeah.
I like to make things and design things and build them and work on them and all that. So I'm not going to be sitting at home in my easy chair watching some crazy TV show. So I'll watch a little football once in a while, but that's about it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, how about the sport of ATV racing? Not even necessarily our series, but ATV racing as a whole. What do you want to see in the future for that?
Man, Leon, I really wish we could get another OE back. At least one.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome to see a couple.
Yeah.
That would be a huge boost to the whole industry. Again, like I said, if you come here and you see some stakes in the ground or a building going up, I know something's going on, but those things are usually pretty tight-lipped, or the manufacturers are. But
right.
Beyond that, and just the sport it's a little flat right now, just because we only have the one OE, and people think this is a expensive sport, but there are a lot of other forms of racing
that gateway sport.
Yeah, there are a lot of other forms of racing that are a lot more expensive than this.
Yeah.
And it's expensive, but it's how many young people want to spend weekends with their parents.
Right.
And those are all things that may cost you money, but down the road, and from what I've seen over my career, is most of the kids that are racing end up coming out and either they're self-employed or they're running some kind of a business somewhere. They're generally better drivers. They do well for themselves.
Yeah.
Racing kind of teaches them a lot about life, and everything isn't always easy, and you gotta work for it if you want to win,
Yeah, absolutely. And you see a few that move on to bigger forms of motorsports.
Oh, for sure.
And it's not every single one. It seems like you do this for quite a while, and you like us, you're passionate about it, and you stick with it forever.
Yep.
Or you just get out of it, whether you ran out of money or you just decided to be done with it, or you're an asshole parent and you drove your kid out of it. It happens too.
Yep.
Or all of a sudden they're doing something like driving monster trucks, or they're driving a dirt track car or something.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a good foundation for other forms of motorsports.
Yeah.
If you want to go that direction,
right.
And like you said, car racing, truck racing, off-road truck racing, monster trucks, whatever.
Yeah.
And there was a kid that was involved PJHS, and he drove in the Indy 500. So he was an ATV rider at one point in time, and it's sky's the limit. So it's former guys, current guys. Shane drives cars. Tim has driven some cars.
He's done a lot of side-by-side stuff.
Doug Gus flies airplanes.
Yeah.
Flew around on an ATV. Now he flies airplanes.
Yeah.
He's a crop duster, And it's all guys that we've seen go through, And Bryce Ford running on the trucks, So some of the guys ride snowmobiles. Some guys ride motorcycles. It just sky's the limit,
Right,
So
exactly.
once that racing gets in your blood, it's hard to get out.
That is a fact.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
but how about the series? In the state that we're in right now, it seems like it's a lot of people are just belly aching about this and that and everything else. But what do you want to see going forward?
Of course, I would like to see more growth than what we have right now, Leon.
Mm-hmm.
But people got to understand it's a business for the promoters as well.
Right.
I mean, and they have to make money, and people complain about how expensive it is to get into the races or whatever, and it's no different than my business. I mean, we have to, in order to be here next year for you, we have to make money, and everything is more expensive now. Insurance, fuel, just the list goes on, and
Right.
It's sad to say, folks, but it's you're gotta pay to play, know, and it's I understand it's not cheap, but like I said, the promoters have to make money to pay the real estate taxes, to pay their insurance, to pay their employees, to pay for their bulldozers, because those things don't run free. It's expensive to maintain them, expensive to put diesel fuel in them.
Yeah.
They gotta maintain that stuff,
Right.
And so you gotta understand that too, So it's just a vicious cycle, and it's just a little challenging right now.
Right. Well, and I mean, obviously, with you and you got to keep the lights on.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure.
And to keep the lights on, that's probably about doubled for you in the last year.
Oh, well, I would say in the last 4 years, it's probably about doubled.
Yeah.
I mean, it's with all the insurances and utilities.
Well, I just mean the electricity itself.
Probably, yeah. We're very fortunate in this area. The electricity isn't super expensive, but just general upkeep, everything is it's through the roof, and but no sense crying about it.
Right.
Just gotta keep going,
Exactly.
and it's the way of the world. So,
right.
But no, I think like I said, the motocross is a little flat. GNCC seems to be real well. I wish there was. We need to focus on, promoting the events a little better. Maybe some live streaming. Getting some new people involved a little bit.
Yeah.
And a little bit more positive attitude sometimes.
Yeah.
I think would help.
Yeah.
There's some folks out there that sometimes are a little negative, and I've been in this since, like I said, I started riding in 1981, and I've been through the highs and the lows.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a little frustrating for me to listen to some of the people that want to whine and cry about everything, but it's we're going to go racing, and it's a little, like I said, a little more promotions, like some live streaming. I think would help it tremendously.
Having a place to actually watch this.
Yes, and that's what it's challenging with that, Leon. This year I'm very disappointed that the schedule doesn't have Daytona on it. I know there's some out there that don't agree with me, but I'll tell you straight off that you tell somebody the series is going to start in Daytona, their ears perk up.
Right.
And you tell them it's going to start somewhere else, and they look at you like, "Where's that at?" So, I think I understand it's expensive to go to Daytona, but it's a world-class venue. It's $1 billion facility, and
we have live streaming there.
You have live streaming there. Yep, correct. And honestly, it's like, how many people can say that they've walked under the Rolex clock at Daytona International Speedway?
Right.
Not a whole lot.
How many people can say, although it wasn't very long, but how many people can say, I drove on Daytona Speedway? They don't even know that we just crossed the track.
But the best part is, how many people can say they've stood on the podium?
Right? That's true.
Or in winner's circle at Daytona International Speedway. Not a lot. I've been there a lot of times.
I know one person that really geeked out over it.
Who's
Jeremy
that?
Launderville.
Oh, Jeremy.
Because he got to stand on the same podium that Dale Earnhardt got to stand on.
Hey, good for him. And you know what? A lot of people need to realize that.
Right.
There's a lot of history there.
There's a lot of history.
A ton of history. And you know what? I mean, that's... Again, I've traveled all over the world.
Right.
And that place, every time I go in the tunnel of that place, gives me goosebumps. I mean,
it is cool. It's the track isn't always very nice.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been a couple years that we should have had TT bikes there.
Yeah.
But
there's only
it is what it is.
There's only certain things they can do there.
Yep.
There's a lot of stipulations and a lot going on there. And Racer Productions did the best they could do, and last year I felt was probably one of the best tracks. But
last year's track was pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, it was good. But there's just a lot of history. You make a lot of memories, and it just, I understand it's expensive, but
Yeah.
I think we need to go there.
Yeah, I think it would have been cool too. Like we've had this conversation many times, but I think it would have been cool if we would have gone and we could have brought a couple more classes.
Yeah, I feel that some of the amateur classes would be well received there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And maybe in the future the mindset will change.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you have to offer it up to them and see how they are received,
Right.
and put some stipulations on it.
Right.
But
Well, in this point, we have to hope that the door didn't just close on us.
yeah, I hope not. I hope that the door didn't close, and it someday gets reopened.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Absolutely. Well, we've talked about a lot.
we sure have,
We've
Leon.
talked about your start,
Yep.
your climb, where you're at now.
Yep.
But let's say, and I'm not even going to say let's say, because I know people have come up to you before, but you've got someone that is wanting to get into ATV racing or just bought an ATV and wants to start racing. What's some of the advice that you could give to them right off the bat?
First off, wear a helmet. Yeah, wear a helmet.
Well, if they're racing, it's kind of required.
Yeah, well, wear a helmet if you ride with anything or anywhere.
Yeah.
But man, just go to your local track or cross country track, motocross track, TT track, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just get involved, and it's a great sport to be involved with,
Right.
Leon. And like we both have friends all over the world, like we've talked about before.
Right.
But there's a lot of great families there. We're all there for the same thing, and it's an awesome community to be involved with.
Mm-hmm. It is,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is something that I don't think I've ever brought up, and I listen to a lot of different podcasts,
Yeah.
mostly obviously ATV ones and also car ones.
Okay.
And there's a lot of people like drifting is a smaller sport in the automotive
Okay.
world, and they always talk about there's no other sport that's like drifting because everyone's so kind to each other, everyone's so friendly, and they're willing to help you out.
Yep.
Wrong, because that is ATV racing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We
for sure.
There's people that come up to you. I know
yeah.
there's people that come up to me, ask us questions. How many people come and ask us if we have stuff, and if I got it, I'm gonna let you use it.
Exactly,
Or,
yeah.
If I got a part to get you back on the track, doesn't matter if you're lining up right next to me.
Doesn't matter.
You're gonna have it.
Yeah, exactly. And
it's
yeah, it's just camaraderie,
Right.
friendships, and that's just keep you loan parts to people or sell them parts or whatever. Just keep them going.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter whether it's this form of racing or motorcycles or drag cars.
right.
We're all into the same gig,
Right.
And we're all doing the same thing. We got the same interests, and
Right.
we want to see every competitor out there that we can get.
And there might be little things, and I'm sure you're the same way. There might be little things that I'm probably not going to give you all the information on,
For sure.
but I'll tell you everything else.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
There's little secrets.
Yeah, there's always going to be little things.
Yep.
But we're not a gatekeeping
No.
scene at all.
No, not at all. No, not at all.
Some of us tell you too much stuff.
Yeah.
But there's not one person that's going to tell you to get lost. And
No.
if there is one person, you got to point them out because we'll go kick their ass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Most of us are pretty good.
Yeah.
So-
But where can we find you or Baldwin Motorsports on the interwebs?
Oh well, Leon, that's a funny question there. But I used to have a website, but it got hacked.
Yep.
It turned into a less than desirable site. Well, that was probably 3 years ago.
Okay.
And I have been fortunate enough to be so busy that I've never opened up another web or started another website.
Doesn't seem like you really need it right now.
Well,
that phone doesn't shut up.
That phone doesn't quit ringing. But again, I'm very fortunate, Leon. But I'm old school. Call us, send us emails, whatever, Leon. And basically, if you need it for racing, we've either got it, get it, or make it. You know. So it's my advertising program isn't the best in the world, but I still am very fortunate to have a lot of work. You know?
Yeah.
So,
maybe one day you'll need it. But
yeah,
right
maybe
now,
I do need it now, but I don't take the time just like this to sit down and do it. You know, and I guess I probably should look at that, but that might be next fall. You know, maybe. But maybe I'll just hire somebody to do it. Who knows?
There you go.
But even doing that's hard with all the different products we have and the descriptions.
Exactly. You need to know what you're looking at.
Correct. Yes, exactly. Yes.
You need somebody that wants to do it and has a good ability to do it, but also knows this industry or knows this scene.
You know, I can make all the coolest parts in the world, but I'm not real good at sitting down and writing all those descriptions and why is this better or what's this do or whatever, you know. And
on a TRX 450, why are we making a bearing carrier with two fat bearings?
Exactly.
Triple bearing.
Like I said, I can design the stuff, but when it comes to sitting down and putting all that on paper on the computer, I'm not. I can do it, but I'm just not the best at it. I guess I critique myself too much.
Hey,
it is what it is.
Yeah, whatever.
Yep.
But Baldwin Motorsports is on social media, correct?
Yep. Instagram and Facebook.
And Instagram. Okay.
Yeah, correct.
No TikTok or anything like that?
No TikTok. That's a little above my pay grade.
You're not making no TikTok videos?
Yeah, that's a little above my pay grade.
You get Bryce over here. He can do some of that stuff for you.
TikTok videos.
He'll be dancing with the CNC machine or dancing on the dyno or something.
He's probably done one here and I don't even know about it.
I bet he probably has.
Probably has. Yep.
He's gonna be filming around here and then be like, on this week on Hoarders.
Yeah. Let's hope not. Yeah, let's hope not.
But anyone else that you kind of want to give a shout out to before we get going?
Leon, that's just, there's been a lot of people that have helped me, you know, and I got, like I said, I'm very fortunate. Very supportive wife was Sherry. Well, legally, we're not married, but been together for 30 years.
You're
you know.
Like Jody and Debbie.
Yeah, well,
they just
bit the bullet.
Yeah.
But, you know, my parents, of course, like I said, Sherry, very supportive of what I do. She understands when you're self-employed that a lot of hours. You know, and I've just had a lot of very, very good customers, good friends over the years, and just it's been awesome, man. So it's just cool. And like I said, I got a lot of friends all over the world, and you know, it couldn't take me a while to think of all the names of the people, you know, and but just everybody that we do business with and or have done business with, you know, both on the vendor side and the customer side. I mean, it's just none of it would have been possible without all that, you know, and so like I said, just very, very fortunate, you know. Yeah,
absolutely.
So
and I mean, you've had one employee that's retired within the last year.
Yeah.
We never had a retirement party for Bramble, but
no, the dog. He decided one day he just wasn't going to come to work, you know. So he stays at the house now, and
whatever.
He probably gets treated better than a lot of children, you know. So the dude lives on a king size bed just about.
There you go.
But you know, former employees that I did have, real employees other than a dog. I mean, they've a couple of them work at Honda. And so it's cool. Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what
You're
it is.
You're still here.
Yeah, I'm still here, man. I'll be here. I'll be the last one leaving, probably. Taking me out in a pine box or something.
Yeah,
but
who
no.
knows? Who knows?
Who knows? Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Well, awesome. Well,
yeah.
I appreciate you taking your time.
Yeah, it was fun, Leon.
Down with me, and who knows? I'm sure we could probably do another one of these again once you start having some flashbacks.
Yeah. Probably be like 10 more years before you convince me to do it. But no, we'll have to do some more.
Yeah.
Probably need to do more of this kind of stuff. And
no, for sure.
Maybe that's maybe it'll inspire some more people in the sport to do it and stuff like that, you know, hopefully. And get a little more enthusiasm behind it and all that, you know. So But
Well, and it's also it's nice to kind of hear the other side and kind of the behind the scenes where you came from. You know, it's like when I interviewed Debbie.
Yeah, yeah,
And you know, we're kind of. I bet if somebody doesn't know you at the track right now, that's kind of their own fault.
yeah, pretty much. Yep.
And the shout out Neil Larson, #1 plate up there.
Oh
right
my
now.
goodness! Wow, look at that thing. That was from like a while ago. That was a minute ago.
Few
There,
years ago,
yeah,
D23 championship.
Yeah.
But it's we keep getting new eras of riders, you know, new generations of riders that are coming in that don't know a lot about you.
Right.
And hopefully they can see this and go, holy crap, like this guy isn't just some dude in a rig.
Yeah, I'm not just some dude in a rig, and I don't build stuff just for pro riders.
Right.
I build stuff for all
Right.
anybody. I don't care.
You've been here for forever. I mean, you've seen the sport through, essentially. The only thing that you haven't done in the ATV world are going to be like the 6-wheeled Argos and stuff that Pine Lake started with.
No, I don't work on those things. That and snowmobiles, I'm out.
Yeah. No, I'm not a fan of sleds.
Yeah, I'm out. So
yeah, no. But yeah, I mean, it's you self-made.
Yeah, I'm self.
I mean, with all this stuff.
Yeah, it started out as a hobby, turned into a business.
You started school, a tool and die maker.
Yeah.
And
I went on engineering school and decided to heck with that noise.
Machinist school dropout, you know?
Engineering.
Sorry.
Engineering school, yeah. I quit that going into my senior year. So, but
whatever.
Yeah.
You made it work.
If I need an engineer now, we'll just hire one. So
there you go.
But find one.
You'll make one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll get somebody to do it. You know?
Yeah. Awesome.
So,
well,
it's been fun, Leon.
It has been. It's nice to hear some of these stories. And,
you know, probably heard them before, but
I've heard some of them.
Yeah,
driving back from Florida and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
at Chicani, I should say.
Yeah.
So,
that was last. Yep.
Yeah.
So,
but
it's all cool.
Awesome. Well, I'll let you get back to work here. Even though it's 8:30
already.
Yeah.
All right.
I told you this stuff flies when you sit down and do it.
It does.
So
it flew by.
Awesome.
So
well,
it's all good.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
thanks, Leon.
It.
Yeah, thanks, Leon. Yep. Thanks, Leon.
Thanks for tuning in. If you got questions for Mark, you want to see more from Mark, let me know. Let him know. You know, because I see this guy quite a bit.
Yeah, you do see me quite often, but I haven't wrote the book yet. So
that's true.
Keep on making notes on the book that I need to write.
You've got a lot of notes.
I got a lot of notes. I got a lot of notes.
A lot of notebooks.
Yeah, I got a lot of that too.
Yeah.
So,
but thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, and hit that notification button if you haven't yet so you can get all these episodes, because we're going to keep dropping these things, and there's going to be a lot more coming in 2026. So big things are coming. Prototype stuff has been on display this whole time, and probably nobody noticed. But,
yep.
Thank you again, and we'll catch you on the next one.
All right. Thanks, Leon.
Thank you.